Oh, there you go. Good evening, and welcome to episode 11 of Ask Andrew Anything on Email Marketing. By the way, my name is Andrew, and let me share this. Let's see, share this. Let's see. No, not this one. This one, yes. And do this. There you go. All right. How's that? Looks good. Okay. So my name is Andrew, and I help businesses build deeper relationships with their prospects and also their customers through email, of course, so that selling becomes effortless. So today or tonight, we have two questions, and hopefully I can finish them, both of them, within the 20-25 minutes or so, as I promised, and so that everybody can get on with their rest of the evening. Okay. So why is it not working? Oh, there you go. So like I said, I answer your questions or anything related to email marketing every 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Every Wednesday, I show up about 8:30. It used to be 8. I think I'm going to change it to 8:30 because there are certain commitments that I have to do. So yeah, most likely it'll be 8:30 every Wednesday. And if you have questions, maybe not today, if you have questions along the week, you can scan this little barcode. It will lead you to a Google form, which allows you to just enter your email and also put in your questions. And and next week, the next Wednesday, I will answer them. Okay, so scan the barcode if you want. I give you a count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And if you want to get more so-called tips on email marketing, I post regularly on my LinkedIn profile. That's the platform at the moment that I focus on most of the time. And and sometimes there are certain things which certain information which is urgent in nature, and I'll just post it on the social media. Okay, so it's not just all emails. You need to use, as a marketing person, all the channels that's available to your advantage. Okay, so this is my LinkedIn profile. Scan the barcode, or there's a URL at the bottom, which you can, well, basically you can search for the email guy or Andrew Wong. You should be able to get me. All right. So same thing. I'll do a count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Then next. Okay, let's look at questions. This is a question from Aisha. And she says, my boss wants me to hide the unsubscribe button because she, that means the boss, does not want the least to miss out on their sales promotion. Is this the right thing to do? Okay, so it is ethically not the right thing to do, and there are cases where, okay, what happens is, it's just to give you some context. Let's say this is your email, okay, and you have your content and all those things. There are two ways I've noticed, but it's getting lesser now. I think the awareness is increasing with regards to engagement with the readers or audience. Some of them would actually put the unsubscribe button way at the bottom. That means they have a lot of space and all right at the bottom. The idea is when you're scrolling, you're reading the content, and you're not going to, and then you see a lot of space, very likely that you just skip, So by hiding, or so-called embedding way below the emails, that is one way of trying to avoid subscribers to unsubscribe. Another method is, so you have, let's say this is your text in black, and what they do is they're trying to trick the ESPs, not ESP, the ISPs, and they have the unsubscribe button in white. Okay, I'm going to use yellow, for example. All right. Okay, here you go. And that is, the idea is to blend in into the background. So technically speaking, the button is the text or the unsubscribe link is there, but basically the color is the same as the background. Okay. Now, I don't have data with regards to how the ISPs would treat this method, but I suspect because they employ way much smarter people than you and I combined, very likely that they will have built an algorithm to recognize that there is a significant space between text and unsubscribe, and they may take action onto it. That means they may just send you to the spam folder. But what I know for sure is this. They now have mechanism to detect whether the color, okay, because if you look at HTML codes and all those things, you have text colors, and the colors is the same as the background for the unsubscribe button. Very likely that this one eventually will be treated as spam. So my question to you, Aisha, or to your boss is, do you want your emails to end up in spam, or do you want your emails to only so-called communicate with people who are really interested? Okay, the thing with email is this. This is what we call permission marketing. Okay, specifically for email, because somebody gave you a consent, or somebody consented that you are allowed to send email to them. And for example, even in Europe, you have the GDPR, for example, they have the right, or your subscribers have the right to request that you remove all information, or declare, or you have to declare how are you treating their information, all right? So in most cases, remember this, when you're doing email marketing, you're doing permission marketing, because the reader or the subscriber has consented, given consent to you to email to them. So you will need to be respectful. And that's why you would have to always make sure to give them a way to exit if they want, okay, which is basically unsubscribe, right? In layman's term, you exit to allow them to get out of it if they find that the content is not consistent or it's not coherent with what they want. And the advantage of this is, one, you want to talk to the people that care about your business, about what you offer, all right? And you also want people that engage with your content. So assuming, let's say back to this case, right? Let's assume that, you have a bulk of your readers is into this segment, all right? Into this segment. And they really don't like your email. But because you hide it all the way down, they probably couldn't see it. And they just probably don't open your emails forever, okay? Because they can recognize emails coming, let's say coming from Andrew, I'm not going to open it because he doesn't allow me to unsubscribe. I cannot get out of it. I've been getting emails, and you're going to have, the thing is, you're going to have a frustrated prospect, which is far more dangerous or far more damaging to your business than a frustrated customer, okay? Because the prospects is going to tell, like the customer is going to tell the rest of the world that, you're probably a spammer, but you basically lose the opportunity to have a chance to do business with them anymore, right? So you want people to engage, and that is important for your business. And even in the end of the day, it's not, but the numbers is nice, it's useful, sales are basically paid by numbers, but you still want a large portion of your subscriber to be basically engaged with your content, engaged with what you have, engaged with you. And if you don't have that, then basically you're broadcasting or you're sending emails out to the ether, right? And because they don't open your emails, which means they don't engage with your emails, it will also hurt your sender deliverability. All right. Today my tongue is a bit tight. Basically, it will hurt your emails, whether it's going to land in the inbox or either the promotion box or eventually spam. And the third thing is this: because you didn't allow an easy way for them to exit your list or your newsletter or your emails, they can either delete your emails or they can report you to the spam or to your ISPs. And once it's reported to the ISPs, for example, your email address is going to get blacklisted very fast, right? So Aisha, I hope I answered your questions. Ethically speaking, it is not a good idea. It's never a good idea to not allow your subscriber to exit. Technically speaking, by doing so, by insisting on doing so, you will eventually get your sender reputation degraded, and worse, your emails will be classified as spam. Now, the problem is once your emails or your email address is classified as spam, it's very difficult for you to recover, okay? It's just like, you're found guilty, and then you've got to fight your case. So the question is, why do you want to go to that extent? Although this is not a criminal act, but from a marketing standpoint, you are basically offending your prospects and your customers. All right. Oh yeah. Okay. So for example, not just me giving you advice, I actually do that in my own emails as well. For example, this is a 365 subject lines emails which I send every day. I send one email subject lines a day to my subscribers, and what I do is I actually put it at the very top of the email. If you notice, right after the so-called the image, and I actually give them an option that if they do no longer wish to receive these daily emails, all they need to do is to click on this button, and automatically my backend email automation will basically take care of it, that they no longer receive such emails from me. Okay, that's one way. Then obviously at the bottom, I will have this, okay, and here basically is totally unsubscribed. Okay, so there are two layers of it. One is they unsubscribe from not receiving this type of emails because they're on my list. So most of them are on my list, and I may basically offer them that this is a new newsletter, and some of them basically subscribe to that as well. So if they get out of the 365, they can still get my daily emails, right? On the other hand, I have another newsletter, right? For example, for the B2B business, I then also have at the very top, and I make it very prominent, right? Short of putting the words in red, basically that, because I have newsletter for B2B and B2C, and one that I send out once a week every Friday. Okay. So for example, if they're in the B2B space emails, and they say that I no longer find this useful, or it's no longer relevant for me, or maybe I've changed job, whatever it is, and if they press this, they will basically be removed from this list, and they will only receive here. Okay, so assuming if they subscribe to both, then they will only receive subsequently this email and then this Friday email. Okay, so this is what I do for my own business. I am not afraid of you unsubscribing if you're part of my subscriber, because the fact that maybe I'm not serving your requirements, right? And that's fine, but at least I don't offend you. And eventually one day, our paths may cross, okay? And maybe by that time, I may have something that you really need, or maybe something that is relevant to you, right? So this is what I would recommend most email marketers. And there was this article, I think it was Wall Street Journal, or something like that. That now this weekend is Father's Day, and last month was Mother's Day, and there were also people complaining that they do not want to receive promotional emails on these 2 days. One is either their parents are no longer with them, and some of them is still traumatized by losing their parents, and they do not want to be reminded of this. And certain email marketers have suggested to do something like this, right? Basically give them an option whenever you send out the first email, and give them an option and says that if you do not wish to receive this Father's Day or Mother's Day promotion, click this button here or click this link here, and we will not send. And I think that is a good way, because end of the day, remember the keyword permission marketing, you are basically going back to them for an opportunity of basically for their consent to basically send additional emails, or basically emails which some of them may be offensive to them. It could be to you is you are just doing a job as a marketer, but the content of the email may be offensive to them or may be traumatizing to them. Okay, so by giving them an exit, a link to leave, you're basically doing them a favor and doing your brand a favor, because you're being conscientious and you're basically being considerate of your email list. Okay, so Aisha, I hope I've given you sufficient information. And don't under any circumstances hide your unsubscribe button. Allow your subscribers to leave. If they don't like your content, that's fine. Find new ones. You got to continuously grow your list anyways, right? You're not going to stuck with 1,000 subscribers for the rest of your life. So that's another topic for another day. But generally speaking, you got to make sure that you have activities to get new people into your list so that you can compensate for the people that's leaving. So net, you should have growth in terms of your email list. All right. Okay. Next, this is from Hong Bin. I can't be always sending only value content without selling stuff, right? So when do I send these emails? Okay, cool. So, how should I put it? Let me see. Should I go to the strategy? Should I go to the tactic? Okay, let's look at this. The idea of sending emails, right, especially value content or content value kind of emails, is to the 3 keywords. Right? And by virtue of having this, assuming you tick all 3, then it basically makes okay, not seamless, but basically it introduces less friction to the sales process. Okay, so that's the core thing or the core idea behind sending value email, because you serve them first before you ask them for favor. The concept of reciprocity, right? And so if you have done this, then obviously there's always 2 extreme, 2 ends of the spectrum. If you just serve content without making an offer, end of the day you are just being a content producer, a poor content producer, because you're not making money from your emails, right? On the other hand, if every single email you send is basically sell, you eventually will have lesser and lesser people, probably none, who is going to be reading and opening your emails. So the idea is to strike in the middle. Now, how do you do that? So there's one method, or there are 2 methods that I can recommend you to do, Hongbin, is this. You can use the 3+1 method, which means 3 emails, which is basically provide content or value, and 1 email after the 3rd email, you can have an email to sell. Okay, that's one way of doing it. Okay, another one is if you say no, I need to get sales soon and all those things, then you can use this, which is basically a copywriting technique. Basically, yeah, it's a copywriting technique, and this is popularized by Joanna Wiebe from Copy Hackers. It's basically a derivation of PAS, which is basically problem. No, I got my spelling wrong. Let me try this again. Okay, so let me quickly explain this. So you can start the email by highlighting the problem that your readers may face. Okay, it could be a problem, could be a fear, or could be some kind of obstacle that is preventing them to getting what they want. All right, maybe a skill set, lack of skill set, or maybe for example, do marketing, I don't have access to traffic. Right, so that's a problem that I face. Right, so first you address this or you highlight this, then you agitate the problem further by saying that assuming if you allow this to prolong, then your business, you probably won't have business. For example, go back to Aisha's case. If you continue and you want to basically get sales from your subscribers, and you continue to do practice where you try to hide the unsubscribe button, what will happen eventually is you're not going to have any subscribers and you're not going to have any sales, right? So what is the solution? Okay, and the solution is basically your offers, okay, and what you can do, right? And then you add it up finally to this. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4, which is basically by getting the solution that you are offering, you'll be able to get the outcome that you desire, for example. you get highly engaged subscribers, and you get sales from your emails. So your emails or your email marketing efforts are basically profitable, right? So Hong Bin, there are two ways of doing it. So one is basically the 3+1 method, 3 emails tied to content, and then obviously one email basically makes an offer. And obviously the 3 email, the content are all interrelated to offer that you have, right? Basically you're trying to solve their problem or giving them option to solve their problems. And then the 4th email, basically the selling email, is the one that say, okay, in order to help you, I have this on offer to can actually solve the 3 problems or the 3 basically issues that you have that was highlighted in the 3 emails. Okay, so if you are impatient, you can always try this. With this, every single email will have a CTA that either leads you to your conversion mechanism, which is either a sales letter, which is either click button to your e-commerce site to buy something straight away, or either get on a call or schedule a booking to get on a call. All right. So one is every single email will have this, which is basically the puzzle method or the PASS method. Okay, problem, agitate, and solution. Or you can do this, which is a less aggressive way of doing it. There's no right or wrong. It depends on your market. So I would suggest if you want, you can then try basically these 2 options and see which one basically rolls well with your audience. All right, Hong Bin, cool. Okay, so with that, that's all I have time for today's session. Like I say, I have 3 email free resources, basically 3 different set of newsletters. One is targeted to B2B audience. The other one is to B2C audience. I send 2 emails twice a week for each one of these. And then the last one, which is basically a subject line email, which I send an email a day with a subject line idea every day for the next 365 days. So technically speaking, you will have a full year, assuming if you stay subscribed. It's free, by the way. A full year of email subject lines ideas that you can use for your email. For Aisha, for Hong Bin, you can definitely benefit from this. So same thing, I made it easy. Scan the barcode, basically pick up your phone, turn on your camera app, point at it, and it will lead you to a URL or basically a page, a website, and you just enter your name, email, and you're in. And then basically enjoy the content that I have for you. And like always, back to Aisha's case, if you find that content no longer serves you, there's an unsubscribe button at the bottom, and very likely there's a button at the top that allows you to leave anytime you wish. Okay, so no obligations. End of the day is for me to deliver as much value as I possibly can to serve you. Okay, and that's it. Thank you so much. I'll see you again next Wednesday, 8:30. All right, I've decided it's going to be 8:30. And I'll spend 20 minutes, 30 minutes or so, or 20 or 30 minutes to answer all your questions on email marketing. Andrew Wong signing off. I'll see you next week. Cheers.